All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Lake to Lake Girls.
Hi, everyone.
We are your hosts, Tiffany Collinsworth and Amanda Moore. And we have a special guest in studio. Amanda, if you want to do the honors.
We have George Farenthold with us here today from the Finger Lakes Grape Seed Oil. Now, what's the name of the company? Because I thought it was the Grape Seed Oil company, but it's not.
It actually is.
Oh, is it?
We
Okay.
have a parent.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a corporate shuffle, but the truth is our parent is Seneca Bioenergy.
Okay.
And there's a great story behind that. We'll get into it. But essentially, Finger Lakes Natural Oils and Finger Lakes Grapeseed Oil Company are subsidiaries of Seneca Bioenergy.
Thank you for explaining that to me, because I wasn't quite sure. But, yes, so he's here, and he has brought a display with him of the grapeseed oil, and this is so unique. When I first met George, it was actually at the market, at the Amish market, during their Autumn Fest on 89 in Romulus, and he was explaining to me this is the only manufacturer of grapeseed oil out in the U.S. outside of California, which I thought was amazing. So I'm like, we have to get him on the show. We have to talk about this. And all the really cool things they're doing with basically the waste products that are, coming out of all the wineries and the practices, the business practices behind it. So do we want to show the video first, and then we'll get into it?
All right, here we go.
It's our philosophy as a company not to start with a greenfield site and build new infrastructure where there is ample places throughout upstate New York. Here in particular, the Seneca Army Depot, former Army operations here, afforded us the opportunity to purchase property that had pre-existing rail infrastructure that had been upgraded, buildings that were already constructed and in good shape, and access to the agricultural community, which we're in the middle of. We decided that it was important from the company's mission to link together environmental sustainability, renewable energy, and agricultural processing. So we think that those three tenets are important to an overall business model that starts for us bringing in waste materials from different production operations and finding ways to have beneficial reuse of those waste materials.
We have found a niche, and that niche is the local food movement. People want to buy locally, they want to buy wholesomely, and they want to buy things that are good for their families. And grapeseed oil is certainly that. Now, someday soon, when we're making biodiesel, which is a obviously completely unrelated business, but it'll be part of our green energy park, we'll have biodiesel production here so local farmers can plow their fields and run their equipment on local fuels. So another branch of the local movement, we don't have to import our fuels any longer. We can make them right here in Seneca County.
We purchased it and permitted this facility as upstate New York's first manufacturing facility for renewable energy, agricultural processing, and environmental sustainability. We call it Seneca Ag Bio Green Energy Park.
Okay, so that video gives us a little bit of an overview behind the business practices of what you guys are doing, which I think is really a cool concept.
Rochester Athletic Club offers body sculpting
Seneca
classes.
Army Depot, which is this huge space, tons of acreage, where really, they have all these facilities and these buildings that are, just kind of rotting away. And you guys are taking this opportunity to do something with them, recycle them in a way. So I guess I want to get a little bit into the business practices behind what you're doing with the grapeseed oil, and also the actual production of the grapeseed oil.
Sure.
From sort of start to finish, and then the oil itself.
Great. Well, let me start with the 55 acres that we've carved out of the old Seneca Army Depot, and part of that 55 acres included two warehouses Those warehouses are interesting in and of themselves, first of all, because there's almost 400,000 square feet of space under roof in relatively good shape. I mean, they're 1950s engineering, but they're high and dry and solid. And then we've added some other, one building in particular, a pole barn, where we do a lot of work. So we are recycling that facility and repurposing it, what we like to call adaptive reuse. So it is funny, too, Amanda, because inside that one of the warehouses in one of what we call the cells, you'll find old decontamination kits that were left over from the Cold War.
Really?
They're still in shrink wrap. Who knew?
What?
That's
really cool.
I should have brought you one. It's a gift. But
Just to get rid of it.
It could be our mascot.
I know. So the next time we have a nuclear disaster someplace, like was in Japan 2 years ago, we could repurpose those. In any event, so we've also found some other interesting things, signage in particular. So you're right. We just wanted to put that place back on the map in terms of sustainability and reuse. So it's interesting in that Mike Koya, who is an engineer by training and our CEO, originally had the idea that he could make biodiesel from grape seeds. And that's pretty good in theory, except that when you start studying grape seeds and extra virgin oil, you find out that it's really worth about, $400 a gallon. There's no reason to, sell it for $4 a gallon as a biofuel when you could make it, in any event. So,
and we thought gas was expensive now.
Yeah, it's very expensive if you use seeds for it. But the point is that out of that process came a delay in our biodiesel manufacturing facility. It's a heavy capital raise and lift to get that done, but we thought we could get in the grapeseed oil business pretty quickly, and that's what we've done. So we make what's called an extra virgin grapeseed oil. Extra virgin just refers to the fact that it's a first press, and in our case, a cold press.
And it's all natural.
It's completely all natural. There are no chemicals used or added. It does have a unique flavor. People think you can talk to 10 different people, and they'll give you 10 different evaluations of what it tastes like. Very few think it tastes like grapes, but occasionally someone does say, hey, that tastes like a grape.
I taste the grape. I taste the grape. No big
so
deal.
you have a very discerning palate. So it takes a whole lot of seeds to make oil, because there's the oil in a grape seed, you can just imagine, because we've spit grape seeds out all our lives. They're tiny.
Teeny tiny.
Well, to give you an example, we set aside about 140,000 pounds of seeds this season. This is the 2012 harvest season. So with all the wineries we have, not just on the Seneca Lake Trail, but the Cuga Lake Trail and the Cuca with a K Lake Trail, we managed to rustle up a lot of pumice. That's the term.
Now, how many wineries do you get the pumice from?
About 25.
25, okay.
And if we had more money and more trucks and more time, we probably could get more sources. The problem is that we're still a startup. I mean, we have limited sources, and this was a very unique season. Because of the weather patterns, we had a very short harvest, and it started early and ended quickly. And as you know, it's already way past freezing. So any grapes that are out there now are gone.
I woke up with frost on my car this
morning.
I did
a lot of frost.
I was straightening up.
Super
I was
excited.
I cannot believe I'm doing this right now.
Well, and so that created a unique challenge. However, because it was our second year of harvesting pumice, and we were able to together literally get twice as much, twice as many pounds of seeds as we did our first season. So we have like good little squirrels, can now press those seeds all year long and make fresh oil. This oil, for instance, that I brought, we just pressed last week, and so
that's awesome.
It's about as fresh as it can be.
How long does the process take to actually, from seed to bottle, so to speak?
Well, it just depends. Not long. Once we decide to put seeds in our hopper and start pressing them, it's a relatively simple project. It takes some specialized equipment and some special training, but other than that, it's really about lightly filtering the oil and removing the press cake, which we think we'll have other uses for. But then it's about bottling and sealing, and obviously, as it is with most foods, air is the enemy. So once you've got it sealed, then you're in pretty good shape.
It's quite deceiving. It looks like it's like an ice wine bottle.
It does.
Here, let's show them a clip of it really quick.
You're not wrong. It is an ice wine bottle, and it comes from Waterloo containers. So it's another local product in the local economic mix. So
I like it.
And people do, and it's a dark glass, and so that helps too.
And then to add to that deception,
we
have the wine bottle bag thing.
Well, what Tiffany's holding is our commercial pack,
and I love it.
We call it our soft pack,
yes.
And you can put 4 bottles in one of those bags. And if you're running a commercial kitchen, I'll give you a couple of examples in the area, like Geneva on the Lake, or the Union Block restaurant, or even the Clarence, you want to have a bag in the kitchen. You don't want glass. The glass
Makes
is lovely.
sense.
It's great on the shelf, but it's the enemy in the kitchen.
It's just like you said, if you open a bottle of it, the cork is only going to save it for so long, but this has the nodule that as soon as you let it go, it's closing it right up. So
and our commercial users, like the places I just mentioned, they go through a lot of oil. I mean, they have special dishes they use it for, and glad they do.
Oh, it's actually really cool. Now, a few of the things that are as used as a description are flavonoids. What would you call a flavonoid?
That's a good question. There are also some other terms that are going to come up. Polyphenolics.
Polyphenolics, yes, that one's another one.
Polyphenolics, flavonoids, omega-6. These are all the nutritional benefits. The flavonoids are essentially antioxidants.
Okay.
And so they're quite nutritious and quite healthy, and fresher is better. And it's one of the reasons we only lightly filter the oil. You could take the oil down to a clear product, but then you're destroying the local nutritional benefits of it. And so we only lightly filter this oil. We think the taste is just fine. Some people do like chocolate, and others like vanilla or prefer strawberry. My point is that we think it's great just the way it is, and we don't want to take any of those natural ingredients out. Not the omega-6, not the flavonoids, not the polyphenolics. We want all of those nutritional properties intact.
To stay in, yeah. Now, what are some of the common uses that people are going to use this grapeseed oil? What does it kind of replace? Kind of like a virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil?
It is, because it's an extra virgin oil. I think it's great on salad, and most people would use it that way.
That sounds really good.
If you're a fan of vinaigrettes or oil and vinegars, that's a common use. I'm not much of a chef, but I am a grill master, so I always brush my beef and other meats with grapeseed oil before I cook it. Now, one of the reasons we do that is because it also has a higher smoke point than olive oil.
Yeah,
so it doesn't burn like butter.
Up.
It doesn't burn like olive oil.
And it remains healthy for you.
It does.
Okay.
That's awesome. I wish we could show you guys the actual color of the oil.
It is a deep green.
But I almost feel like it's almost a little lighter than olive oil. I think not just in color, but in taste. For me, when I tasted it, I actually really, really liked it a lot better than olive oil, which I think can be a little. I don't know if bitter is the right word for it, but here's the challenge that we have. A lot of olive oils,
even though they claim to be extra virgin, even though they claim to be wholesome and nutritious, may not be.
Yeah.
Simply because there's a lot of fraud on the market.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons I brought this book.
I love this book.
I was
it made me smile as soon
I
as
was
the first
made
thing
aware
I saw.
of it. I don't know if you can see it. It's
Hold it up
great.
a little higher. And
It's a great title. It's called Extra Virginity.
Dirty.
Well, the problem that it points to is just all the fraud there is on the international market, where you think you may be getting a great extra virgin olive oil, and in fact you pay for that.
Pay for
the
it.
reality is that you may be getting a chemically a solvent extracted product. You may also be getting a product, while not chemically extracted, may have been doctored to mask its rancidity or any number of challenges that are out there. So I can guarantee our product, because we make it 14 miles south of this studio.
Yeah.
You can check it out.
It's literally in your backyard, which I think is an incredible assurance to know that, you are buying local, you're supporting, local industries, from the wineries to what you guys are doing. I know I had just learned about food fraud or agricultural fraud myself not too long ago from reading an article. And you really don't always know where your food's coming from in a supermarket, which I think is another amazing point that we can make for, your oil, that it is coming from your backyard. You can feel safe and happy about it. It gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling.
It does do that, and it does keep the rest of us employed, so we're happy about that too. So I appreciate all of that, and it is true. And I think people who, as they get wiser about the food industry and what it does to our bodies and how we can take care of ourselves, nutrition is a higher and greater purpose. And one thing about oils, they've always been touted as having great nutritional properties, and even believe it, over thousands of years and millennia, really, they've even taken on sacred aspects.
Yeah. Now I was going to ask, what other uses does this grapeseed oil have besides, cooking and nutritional? Does it have any aesthetic?
Well, for millennia, grapeseed oil has been used as a cosmetic. I mean, it's a wonderful moisturizer. But I think if you're going to use it for that, many people would mix it with an essential oil of one sort or another.
People put this on their face?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's good inside and out. And it's a massage oil, but that's part of it. I think if you talk to a massage therapist, they will tell you that the preferred oil in that industry has always been grapeseed oil.
That's something new. I never knew
I never knew that
I might
either.
have to try that.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Oh my goodness!
So you can use it on your salad and your face.
Yes, you can. And,
that's so weird.
Yeah,
I know.
As I like to say, it's good inside and out. I mean, you get those flavonoids and antioxidants and nutritional properties. And by the way, it's good topically.
Yeah.
Put it on.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what else can you tell me a little bit about? Where can people find out more information?
Yeah.
Well, you could go to our website, which is Finger Lakes Grapeseedoil.com, all spelled out. You can use Facebook. I would venture to say that you can see some of the news articles that have been written about us.
You guys just got one in the Democrat and Chronicle.
We had a great story in the Democratic Chronicle by Jeff Blackwell, who made 2 trips down to see us, and did, I think, a great job, the most credible job to date.
You guys were also, sorry to interrupt, we're also featured in the New York Times.
We did have a New York Times story.
Florence
Fabricant, who is the food editor, gave us a thumbs up. That's thumbs up review,
like
which is lovely. I brought a copy of that with us, too, just to point it out. But you'll find it on our Facebook page. And other people have written some very nice things about us. And it's almost kind of like you guys, kind of like people are conspiring to help us. It's a lovely problem to have.
Us conspiracists.
I know.
I love it.
Conspiring all over the place.
Well, the reason we wanted to bring you in is because, I mean, one, it's one of the first, it's the only one in the area.
Yeah, outside of California.
And that's incredible in and of itself. And it's something different because, you hear about the wineries, and we've been talking about the cheese trail, all the local businesses, but this is something new and different. And I think that is one of the huge selling points to this.
We certainly appreciate that, and it is new and different. And frankly, I've gotten an education myself. I, like everybody else, thought I was doing really well having grapeseed oil or using canola or even sunflower seed oil. And we have friends now that are making squash seed oil. We're all over there at the Cornell Technology Farm Incubator together, so we've learned a lot. But it is unique, and it is unique to this area, and it is something that the wineries, no individual winery could pull that together all by themselves. But when you have 25 wineries supplying you with pumice, then all of a sudden you can harvest 140,000 pounds of seeds.
What
I was just
makes
going to
good
ask you that. Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry,
You first.
Like one question at a time. How many gallons does that give you, or what's that quantity?
I wish I knew.
Yeah.
We've been too busy like the little squirrels just running around trying to get them. It takes many, many pounds of seeds to make a single 375 milliliter bottle.
Oh, wow.
Many, many pounds of
and
seeds.
you only sell it for $24?
Well, we sell it online for $24.95. Most of the wineries around our area, particularly the ones we call pumice partners, sell it for less because we have a symbiotic relationship with them.
Yeah.
They give us their pumice, and then we can give them back the finished product at a reduced rate.
Which is incredible because when we spoke before, they were just throwing this stuff out.
That's correct.
And now you guys are turning it into this amazing product.
And that's where the antibio comes from.
Yeah. I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, that goes back to...
I keep interrupting her. I keep
No, that goes back to our mission at the Ag Bio Complex. I mean, the Ag Bio Green Energy Park, our mission is well beyond biodiesel and even other forms of alternative energy. Who knows who will knock on the door tomorrow and say, "Hey, I've got a new kind of wind generator. I want to develop. Can we work together?" And hopefully, we would say yes. And so that's the vision for that old army base to try to do something unique and different in the 21st century and not just put Seneca County on the map, but put our green energy future front and center in front, of the rest of New York.
Cornell was a big help in this. Now, what part did they play?
Well, our offices are in Geneva at the Technology Farm address, which is part of the experimental station.
Okay.
So we're in that complex. We're in that beautiful new building that sits on that 25-acre plot also by itself. It's the new building there. It's and Susan Noble runs that technology farm facility, and for those who don't know, that's a great incubator space for new businesses. So we pay a much reduced rent compared to any of the other office spaces around, and we have lab space there. And more importantly than anything, we have other individuals, other entrepreneurs there who we share with, and we give them our secrets in return for theirs. So we know where to get the bottles, hence Waterloo Container. We find out who really makes the best labels, who does great graphics work.
And now this is an original artist, you said.
That's right. Chris Cooley is our artist. He's a Geneva boy, actually. He went to SU and has become a great friend.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful label.
And I have the original art hanging in the office. So it's Chris is quite something. Yeah, he's amazing.
That picture could be a snapshot from really anywhere around the lakes here. So I think he really did an excellent job. And
he captured the area.
Capturing the essence of.
Well, and Chris is even more than just a great artist. I mean, he's a great brander. He's a unique individual who has great sense about about business, and has become a great friend. And I've captured him and abused him. I don't think I can. I don't think I could put it any other way for my other nonprofit entrepreneurial projects. The Finger Lakes Museum being one that comes to mind. He's just been a great partner.
Now I have a question for you. Can you bake with this oil?
Oh yes, I'm so glad you asked. There's an even more involved story. If you'll let me digress for a second.
Yes.
We know,
Stories.
for instance, this oil only represents about 5% of the actual seed. If you saw our presses in operation, what you would see is that besides the oil coming out of the press, we're extruding what's called a press cake.
Okay.
That press cake, besides being the hull of the seed and in and of itself a good deal of oil, no oil that we can get at based on our all-natural process, but there's still a lot of oil in that press cake. We think, in fact, we're almost certain that we can make a flour from that press cake. So we'd have a grapeseed flour. So we're talking to millers, and we're trying to figure out what's next. Now, I just have to tell you, there are not enough hours in the day now, and that's why I don't have a bag of flour here for you all. But someday, don't be surprised if we don't have Finger Lakes grapeseed oil flour on the shelves.
Does that exist elsewhere? Is that like a new?
It would be very new, and the truth is that it's been done in other places. That's why we're almost 100% certain we can do it. I do know I have friends, and one of our distributors is Man in the Moon Bakery and Cheesecake. Which is over in King Ferry in Cayuga County, almost directly across the lake from us in Romulus. If you were to go dead east, you'd run into King Ferry. There was a ferry there at one time, but that's for another show. In any event, they have baked with this, and they have made grapeseed oil crackers, and they are really good. They're testing our oil in lots of their recipes. But yes, you can bake. That's
awesome.
See, I get off on these tangents.
We like tangents.
It's not a
we like
tangent, 'cause
stories.
I want to try to make a cupcake with that sometime. I wonder how that would come out. Because typically I use butter, but
butter's not always the best thing.
Well, and again, the grapeseed oil has unique, flavors as well as nutritional benefits, and of course, then the higher smoke point makes it ideal for baking.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I mean, butter's hard to beat. But I'll give you. I've had high cholesterol almost all my life. I mean, it's a genetic thing with me, but my cholesterol is now under 200 for the first time in 30 years.
Wow.
Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I also take statins, to lower it. But it's even with the statins, it's always been over 200. My last test, I was 188, which was I attribute to using more grapeseed oil than butter.
It's like a miracle oil.
So, not only is this nutritionally sound, it's made in the Finger Lakes, produced in the Finger Lakes. All of it is from the bottles from Waterloo. The art on the front is a local artist.
Yep.
All of the ingredients are from local wineries. And it's good inside and out. I love that. You should just put that on a bottle. Good for you, inside and out. That's a good slogan. You gotta go.
I'm glad to be able to share it here first. I really am, and I mean, you all are the epitome of the local operation.
Yeah,
we are.
You can't get much more local than Canal Side in Seneca Falls.
It's beautiful out there, by the way.
Well, I don't want to promote any other show, but WXXI has been out to our facility, and they're going to be running a show in January.
Well, we're first. I'm just saying.
Way first.
I'm just saying.
You beat them by a quarter, lake to lake girls. Beat them by a whole quarter.
Can you tell us a little bit? Tell everybody exactly where you're located and contact information if they want to learn more.
Well, the best place to reach us, of course, is at our offices at 500 Technology Farm Road. That's County Road 6, or better known as Preemption Road in East Geneva. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, West Geneva. So that's a place where our business offices are. Of course, we're located out in Romulus at the old depot, now the Seneca Ag Bio Green Energy Park.
Yep. So
you can reach us online at fingerlakesgrapeseedoil.com or on Facebook at the same address, Finger Lakes Grapeseed Oil, facebook.com/Finger Lakes Grapeseed Oil. And, of course, there's also our parent site, SenecaBioenergy.com. So that's... well, you can call my cell if you want. I guess I could give that here. It's 315-730-2698. I do answer the phone unless I'm on the air.
That was George's phone.
That was my iPhone. I'm sure it was my
Calling
wife
out.
calling about
throwing him under the bus
something. Throw me under it. You won't even be the only one today.
Can you tell us, do you have any events coming up that people could go to learn more about them?
Taste even?
I actually do have a tasting coming up this weekend on Sunday at the Ithaca Coffee Company at the Trip Hammer Mall. Well, for those of you who know Tompkins County, that's a pretty well-known location. It's right at the intersection of Trip Hammer Road and Route 13, just off the Cornell campus. And so it's one of our retailers, and we're having a tasting there Sunday afternoon. So come on by. I'll have fresh bread, and I'll doctor up our oil. We always show it just the way it is plain, but I'll also make some infusions so people can get an idea about
and that's how I tried it. It's so good. I'm like gushing, but it's really, really good.
I saw your pictures. It looked fun.
Yeah.
But were you just at Ventosa's for a tasting as well?
We had a Ventosa tasting last weekend. I did not do that one. My friend Christine did that, and I think we sold 3 cases. It was a great day.
Wow,
great day for our local
awesome.
business. Yeah.
That's really good. And the nice thing about this area is people are into promoting it, and they're into supporting it. Because the more that we buy local, keep it local, the more the money stays in and it's filtered through the system. And
that's exactly right. And there was a great article about that. I think I put a link to it on our Facebook page. Love Geneva. That organization put that.
I did see that. That was really cool.
It's great, and it's got all the mathematical models about how buying local really helps the local economy and help local businesses. And like you all, people really do seem to be conspiring to help us, which is a lovely thing.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of word of mouth. It's not just my mother calling and saying, I want a case so I can give it away at Christmas.
I think Mom's calling right now.
Yeah, it's the story. Where's my case? I have friends down here who should try your oil. Mom, I'll call you back. I promise. So it's a lovely thing. It's been a great community builder for us too. We've met a lot of nice folks.
Now I know you had a lot of community support. Now has anyone come to you from out of the area? Whether it be southern New York or
Well, when the New York Times article hit, we got a rush of online orders. Those are pretty much scaled back now, but I think I can safely say that there are quite a few people all over this country now who have these bottles in their kitchens. And
good.
So
I like it.
I do too, and we'll just see where that goes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still a startup. We have a joke in the company. Last year, our maiden year, we figured these bottles cost about $9,200 each. Whoa. And we think the prices are now down to about $8,800 each. So we're, maybe next year this time, if people in the rest of the country start ordering up, we can get that down to about $7,000. So it's a long-term investment.
Order people.
Order.
Well, the holidays are coming up. I think this would make an amazing gift.
Especially for the
foodie.
cooker.
Yeah, foodie. Anyone who really is into that, or even someone who's not that familiar with it, introduce them to something.
We all know
new.
great cooks. We all know people who. I was amazed at how many people knew about grapeseed oil and knew all the details that I had no idea. I really got started with Mike and friends because I was interested in the biodiesel business. But I've fallen in love with grapeseed oil. I don't know if you could tell, but
I was going to fall in love with flour.
I'm still interested in biodiesel, but in the meantime, I'm happy to be telling you about grapeseed oil.
Now, how much does a low grapeseed, like how much does a low turnout for the season affect you in terms of production? Would you ever bring it in from an outside source other than the wineries in the Finger Lakes, or will you?
Well, I don't know where we could. I mean, I guess we could get seeds from California, but the shipping and the rest sort of makes that prohibitive. So for now, what we need to do is maximize
the area,
the harvest in this area.
I agree,
and that's just a function of time, talent, logistics. If we'd had more trucks and more time and more energy and more hours in the day, we could have had more seeds. But right now we have a warehouse full of at least one cell in a warehouse full of 140,000 pounds of dried seeds that we can now crush all year long to make fresh oil. So we've got enough to supply all the folks that we're in business with now, and hopefully establish many new retailers, and create that demand.
Now you guys can we can buy this online, correct?
Buy it in store,
and you can buy it at lots of the
stores?
local wineries.
Yep.
I mean, so in this neck of the woods, just all your favorite almost every one of your favorite wineries. And other places, Geneva on the Lake I mentioned earlier. I love that. That's a triple play because they retail it in their gift shop. It's served to you when you sit down for dinner, and of course, Chef Carl Bray is cooking with it in the kitchen. So they, it's the best possible of worlds.
Triple threat right there.
Yeah, I know. It's great. But whether you're talking about Three Brothers or Ventosa. Or Swedish Hill. Swedish Hill is featured in our WXXI video, which is a great thing where we talk about the synergies and the symbiosis that we share. So Nap, there are a lot of all the local places, all the usual suspects, and then some. You can find our oils, and more soon, I hope.
About this area is that the wineries. The cheese companies, Grapeseed Oil, it's a collaboration. It's not.
It's a bounty. It's an amazing bounty we enjoy here.
Versus the other, it's everybody plays together, and it's showing to be a successful tactic. It's showing to be successful as long as you're willing to work together. It's going to be successful.
Well, and I was leaving the tech farm after a meeting this evening. It was already dark, and Mike said, "Hey, what are you doing Friday? I need you at Edible Finger Lakes, the magazine." I'm going, what? I didn't know anything about it. I'm going, we've got an interview on Friday morning. I'm going, okay, I'll see what I
can do.
So we'll find out. I'll find out the details later. But that's a wonderful. If we're about to be featured in that, that's a wonderful promotion. I was just going to say,
Edible Finger Lakes. That's, I don't know. Tiffany, have you ever seen that magazine?
Yes, I have.
Oh my gosh, I love that magazine. But they actually, Edible has editions like all over the country. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but they
and if they really like you, they feature you in other editions.
Yeah, and the Finger Lakes one obviously specifically focuses on the Finger Lakes, which I find, they have you learn about so many new and different things that people are doing. I think this is a great fit for that. So
that's exciting. Then I've always admired the magazine, and I had a friend, a chef at the Aurora Inn, who was featured in it several months ago, and I made fun of him because not in a bad way. I said his name is Patrick, and Patrick was literally had the centerfold. I said, Patrick's in the centerfold.
Oh no, dirty magazines.
No, it's Edible Finger Lakes. No, he's Patrick Higgins. He's the executive chef at the Aurora Inn, and he's a wonderful guy. He's a wonderful friend. He's created a few dishes for us as well. So he's I had a little fun at his expense via Edible Finger Lakes.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Hey, if we can't have fun, why be in business?
What's the point?
Exactly. What is the point? Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming in with us. I was hoping that you're willing to, because all these wonderful, I kind of want to try.
I brought you both bottles.
George.
As the head of the marketing department, I have not a lot of latitude, but it will. We can spare these 2 bottles. And my last pourer, you two can fight over that one. Whoever gets the pourer.
All right.
He brought a pour.
Oh, I
it just so happens it's on my desk.
No.
So it does keep your bottle nice and neat. And I'm going to order more. I'm just, one thing at a time.
Is very into the baking. She's
I
very
am.
good at it.
It's great.
She has
I
a
want to
blog
try it out.
Called,
Well, and I'll keep you in mind too as we get our press cake milled,
Okay.
so that you can be one of our test kitchens.
That
would
would
be a
be
lovely
awesome.
thing.
I would
No,
love
absolutely
that.
it would be. And I
I'll have to
just
give
for the
you my
record,
card.
this is
Have it
wonderful to
with
be
me.
featured on your show. Thank you both for having me. It's
we love to have.
it's a great
I know.
opportunity
Yeah.
for my company. And
I'm so happy we were able to get you on here. I'm so
Schedules
excited
and
to share
everything.
this. Yeah, I'm so excited to share this with everyone. Like, this is just things like this just make me so happy to be able to discover it and share it with everyone else.
You should have seen her after she did her tasting. She's like, Tiffany, we've got to get him in here. She brought in the materials, and she brought in pictures. She's like, we got to get them in here.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to them. We're going to get them in here. And when she puts her mind to something, she usually gets what she wants. I'm just saying. I.e., you're sitting right here with us tonight.
It's kind of true.
listen, it was never even an issue. I was always headed here.
He was very happy to come.
No, it's just
So, yes.
about how. Wait a minute, I have a board meeting.
I know you're very busy, so we definitely
we appreciate it
definitely
so much.
appreciate
It's
it.
amazing. We love to have you here.
Well, thank you.
Well, actually, let me just. I'm going to bring this up again, you guys. Just so you know, go to FingerLakesGrapeseedOil.com. You can find them they're in Romulus, in State Route 96 at 6238 Romulus. You can also find information on them at Seneca Ag Bio Green Energy Park. And your slogan is kind of, because our future depends on it.
That's correct.
Yes.
It does.
And it does. And I like the
deep.
other part where I'm just gonna do a slick one of these. It's good for you inside and out. I love that. I don't know why I love that so much.
Tiffany, I love that you love it.
I do. I love it. No, you're more than welcome to stay with us for the rest of the show. We have only like 15 minutes to go. We got so into it, we just kept going, which is awesome. I love it. I love when something intrigues me, and I like to share more about it. So,
well, try it on your salad.
Yes.
Amanda, you bake with it.
I will. I'll do a post about it.
And whoever, if you want to give one away to a guy, give it to the guy that grills. Or who cooks.
Grill master.
The grill master. Yeah.
I'm selfish.
Jimmy's like, I'm not giving it to anyone.
It's up to you. I mean, it's totally up to you. But we're in the process of building that website so that we'll have more recipes and other things.
I think that's a wonderful idea. It's
and
interactive.
the whole oil dipping thing, and a lot of folks. I know that Chef Carl at Geneva on the Lake, he's reputed to not let any meat leave the kitchen until he's drizzled some grapeseed oil on it. Now, you'll have to talk to Carl for the whole truth. It's only hearsay via me, but I've been told that, and I know from the Medley of Taste fundraiser back in the early spring at Hobart William Smith that, unbeknownst to me, he had a bottle of oil with his hot plate and was doing little sirloin strips right there in front of everyone. It just knocked me out, and he won the award that night. One of the awards.
Well, and the word of mouth is the most powerful, to me, advertising. I think when someone comes up to you and say, "Oh, you got to try this," you're more apt to try it than anyone else going.
It's true.
Some picture ad.
It's amazing what Amanda's done, hasn't it?
It is.
And I mean, she's a one-woman marketing department.
She's the one-woman USO here. We got her going.
No, that interpersonal communication, I'm telling you, it's powerful stuff.
Well, and I just back to the dipping oil thing. The reason we do that with bread and oil at these different venues is not only just to show off the product, but it's a relatively easy way to have people taste it. I mean, you just dip a piece of bread and try it by itself, or try it with a little rosemary, try it with a little hot pepper, whatever it is that you like. Mike always does it with balsamic vinegar.
Yum.
But, I mean, there's many different flavors and tastes.
I haven't
know.
eaten dinner yet.
Like rosemary, olive oil, and crackers. Oh my goodness, that sounds so good. I have actually Triscuit crackers. I'll try this at home with.
I haven't tried it on Triscuits.
Really?
But
I don't
I'm
have
gonna
any
go
other
buy me a loaf of
crackers.
bread.
I gotta go buy crackers.
Yeah. This is incredible.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
My
We
pleasure.
appreciate it. It's George
Certainly.
Farenthold, partner and marketing manager over at Finger Lakes Grape Seed Oil. Thank you so much for coming in. Hopefully, if you have any other events coming up, if you have anything like that, you're more than welcome. We will be happy to have you in anytime. You don't have to give us a bottle of grapeseed oil every time.
Every
but
time,
we really
but-
appreciate the one that you did.
Well, I do know that we're doing the Alzheimer's fundraiser soon too. I'm not exactly sure what the dates are on that, but
well, you can just let us know, and we can post it up on our Facebook, get
That's
more out
great.
there.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And we
Thank
can
you.
mention it in our next shows. Like when it comes up, we'll get the word out.
Yep. Everyone
That's
go like their
the goal.
Facebook page.
Like ours too.
Like ours too
FYI.
while you're at it.
I like that. I'm a little old to be managing the Facebook page, but hey, it had to fall to somebody. I think I'm the youngest in the amongst the partners, at least in spirit. At least I know how to get to Facebook.com.
Tell me a little bit about the people that you work with.
Well, Mike Koya, our CEO, is an environmental engineer by training. I mean, he's done a lot of remediation work, cleaning up old brownfield sites and old polluted sites. So he's a great one to understand, what it takes to be a green person. John Burfind is our CFO and is a longtime accountant. Has his own company down in Pennsylvania, a chocolate company called Purity Chocolate, and that's a whole nother story. And I don't know how I got in bed with all these Pennsylvanians, but I am there, and I'm very happy to be working with them. They're great folks. Christine Jeffries does a lot of our marketing. She's our marketing sales manager. She does a lot of the outreach to all the different venues that we're in. We just counted. I think we're in 65 places now.
That's awesome.
In the Finger Lakes, so we're
bound to run into you somewhere.
And we've sold just no real international sales, except we actually shipped oil to Beverly Hills the other day.
I was just going to ask, how do you guys ship internationally yet?
Well, we use the Post Service.
Okay.
We they have a great regional program. We just wrap the bottles up carefully and put them in those boxes. If it fits, it ships. And we haven't lost one yet, so we're very pleased. In fact, I don't think the Romulus Post Office has seen as much business, since the Army left. Yeah. 20 years. So, they
Pick it up.
Wait a minute, where are these going? Texas? Oh, my God. So I was amazed when we got our first order to send 2 cases to Pennsylvania, and we sent them UPS, and I thought, wow, an international shipment. We sent them to Pennsylvania.
Now, what kind of restrictions do you find when it comes to shipping? I know you said that there are difficulties with California. What comes into play when it comes to that?
Nothing substantial. We really haven't had a true international shipment yet.
Okay.
I mean, I'm waiting for Toronto to call, and we'll have to face that hurdle, whatever it is. But I imagine it'll be a matter of just taking it to the post office opened and saying, this is what we're sending. It's food. And so it's not,
I was going to say, they
not a
can't
big
really
deal.
have too much obligation, too much objection to grapeseed oil. It's not like you're shipping alcohol, liquor, wine.
Or nitroglycerin. That's what they're really concerned about. So we just all have to be sensitive to that.
Yeah.
But as one can tell from this, it's obviously a Pride of New York product. We're members of the Culinary Bounty, the Finger Lakes Culinary Bounty, and so New York folks, especially the post office, they're quite familiar with that. They're not, we're
and they
not.
appreciate it as well. They're willing.
And
to work
I'm
with
too old to be dangerous. I mean, they look at me.
Oh,
In
no.
the old days, they looked at me and go, "Wait a minute, where are you from?" But now it's like, God, he's old. He's
Who are you? Who are you?
That's not a problem. He looks funny, but he's not,
Yeah.
He's harmless.
And George, this is completely unrelated to grapeseed oil and just my own curiosity. Are you from the Finger Lakes? Did you grow up here? Or no?
That's interesting to use that term. People think I came of age here. I actually came to the Finger Lakes in 1976 from Austin, Texas, where I was going to school. And my mother got a job at Wells College, and I came to visit her. And I really, literally never left. And people tried to run me off, but I won't go. I like it here. I love the lakes, and I married a New York girl, and I'm ensconced. You can't. I'm like a tick. You can't
get rid of
me.
Can't get rid of me. No, I'm here.
We don't want to get rid of you.
Well, thank you.
I'm happy to have you here.
Yeah.
You brought something new and innovative to the area, and that's incredible.
Well, and someday soon, I hope we will be making fuels locally too.
Something to be proud of. Yeah.
And I think that Green Energy Park out at the old Army base will bear fruit. We have local support. We've got the attention of our lawmakers. This new administration that was just reelected last night is very sensitive to biofuels, and I've heard President Obama use the term biodiesel. He knows what we're talking about. It's not just theory with him. It's all of the above strategy. So we're not looking for a federal grant or some kind of aid, but hey, throw something our way.
Not?
It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, right?
It wouldn't hurt. But my point is, we're in an environment now where if you can produce something locally and it serves a need, then why not? There's no reason to go international. We don't have to get our oil from the Arabian Peninsula any longer.
Yeah, and that's what's being featured in New York now is this whole phenomena with Greek yogurt. They put a grant together for that. They put a grant together for the farmers. I mean, if this, I mean, you're just the beginning.
Tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it can bluster into something completely new and absolutely beautiful. New.
That's so funny. You mentioned Greek yogurt. I was in the Albany area at the beginning of October for a race, and we went up into Saratoga County, and I tried some local Greek yogurt that this I like Greek yogurt. It was the best Greek yogurt I've ever had in my life. I'm not trying to it's not a euphemism or anything. It was really good.
And you don't find that, and it's I mean, that if they can make a grant for yogurt,
sure,
I'm sure that Finger Lakes Grapeseed Oil is a possibility, especially if it catches on, and I'm sure it will.
Well, in our Green Energy Park, I think it's we've learned and been supported by the local Cornell incubator, and we can spread that to our own 55-acre facility now. Who knows who's going to be there next? I mean, somebody make solar panels, somebody else that interested in geothermal energy, somebody else is interested in wind energy. Those are the kinds of products and projects we want to bring.
I like it. All right.
That's awesome. So we got about 7 minutes left?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
We can close up the show here, and the words can't come to mind to thank you enough for coming.
Yes,
and we really do
so
appreciate
much.
it. We love having this kind of a feature, especially something as awesome as this.
Yeah. And it's so unique. That's
what
I'm
I mean.
Oh,
I'm thinking, okay, there's 50 million wineries here in the Finger Lakes, but this is the only Finger
producer,
Lakes Grape Seed Oil company in the area. And I had no idea. Honestly, don't hate me.
No, I don't. How could I?
I had no idea that this was something that you had in the Finger Lakes until Amanda brought it to my attention.
And I didn't even know until
onto
a couple weeks, a week before that. I had no idea.
We jumped right on it, and we're like, oh my God, we got to tell people about this.
Yeah.
And
well, that'll teach you. You just have to get out of the house.
Yeah.
I know it's getting cold, but you really do have to, get out there.
Get out there and explore. Exactly. Oh,
and I'm grateful to Peter Arena, who's an old friend, who's the owner and the president, I guess, of the Amish market. He's a wonderful guy. And once he heard about us, it's that conspiracy thing again. He says, "Well, I want you to have a tasting here as soon as you can."
It's a good conspiracy, I think.
And I think that shows too that the quality, and the character of your product that you have here is that people really do love it.
And I catching on quick.
Yeah, and they want, you keep saying people are conspiring to help you. I think that shows how amazing this product really is.
I mean, if it were bad,
Yeah.
I'm sure I
If
would
it
have
were
heard
bad,
about
they
it.
wouldn't
I'm sure
conspire.
only my mother would be buying, Finger Lakes grapeseed oil and not by the case. Just one bottle, dude. Why don't you just bring it when you come, Georgie? I mean, no, ship me a case now. I want a case now.
Exactly. And when do you see a difference in shipping at times of the year, different times of the year, different kind of?
Well, I wish I could give you some hard data on that. I mean, it's like the New York Times article. When that article hit, we had orders we could barely fill. I mean, we couldn't make
And that's
oil fast
beautiful.
enough.
That's a beautiful.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
a good
It was
problem
a
to have.
wonderful problem to
Yeah.
have. But it slowed down again, and that's just the nature of the business. And now that the weather's turned cold, and we don't have as many tourists in and around the Finger Lakes,
Yep.
I'm sure it's going to slow down again. However, there's always Christmas, and maybe
Yes.
Christmas will be. We didn't notice a bump last year, but again, it was our first year, and we didn't. We had
Thanksgiving's coming up too.
And as a whole,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving would be a huge for the turkey. Oh,
Yeah.
turkey!
bring
brush
your
those
in-laws or
turkeys with
something.
grapeseed oil.
Yeah.
I know
Brush-
what I'm
brush
doing
it.
with my grapeseed oil.
Well, I think there are lots of ways to use this product, and lots of ways to promote it. But again, I think you hit on it. Word of mouth is it. I mean, if
It is.
people are willing to try it, then we're off to the races.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how many people this is going to reach. I mean, just one prime example. Amanda went to a tasting, fell in love, brought it to me, and we wanted to feature it. And now whoever...
And now you're on the internet.
And now you're...
For anyone with a connection to see.
Yes. And, I feel like if it just one little spark that catches on, and it's just the word of mouth is going to sell right through.
Yep.
And your product speaks for itself. It doesn't need all this, the hype or the stigma or everything behind it. It just speaks for itself.
Well, and I have to say I have to give a shout out to my friends in Auburn, Carmen Cosentino, who is a florist by trade.
Really?
Cooks. He's Italian by heritage, and he's a chef, and he wanted to try the oil. He tried it. Now we're in a florist shop. I mean, that's
Who'd have thought?
Who
Yeah.
would have thought that?
Exactly.
And of course, that's his family that's on the corner here in Seneca Falls as well. Not. I mean, it's the same family. It's not. I think it's a cousin, but to be in a florist shop, I mean, it's just amazing. And now there was an article in the Auburn Citizen last week. It was lovely. I mean, again, conspiracies everywhere.
Hey, it happens. If you have a good product, the people will follow.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, a year into it, or it's almost 2 years now, right?
Well, it's really it's
Just about.
Yep.
However far it's taken,
I think
only
it's
that
going
short of time.
to catch on like wildfire, to
A
be
lot
honest.
of places it takes 5, 6. You have to really put that elongated time into it. But I mean, I feel like this. I mean, you have articles in the New York Times,
Democrat
Chronicle.
Chronicle.
You have videos that people wanted to do for you
Edible
professionally.
Finger Lakes want to,
have
want
a
to talk
local
to you
artist
guys.
wanted. I mean, can't say enough words. I feel like it's moving. Does it feel like it's moving really quickly for you?
It is moving quickly, and I'm very grateful, of course, for the word of mouth and the conspiracies. It's I'm not young anymore, so the faster the better, because mortality will set in sooner or later, and it could be sooner. So buy some grapeseed oil today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Share it with your family.
FingerLakesGrapeseedOil.com again. You can find them. They are located out in Romulus on Route 96, right in that depot area. I just love it. Right in the backyard.
Yeah.
Right from your backyard. Here, hold on. We're gonna do some showing of. Not only is there this amazingly beautiful bottle, there is, and I showed some pictures already over the air as well, but the wine bottle, but the soft bag.
The soft pack is
The
it.
soft
Yeah.
pack.
If you're a serious foodie, you
This
need a
is it.
soft
You
pack.
need- Yep.
This is it.
Yep. How much? Did we mention it before? How much the bottle is and how much the soft pack is?
It is $24.95 for the
Online, yeah.
online.
Okay.
for the bottle.
Can you buy the soft packs, or do you have
You
to?
can, yeah.
Okay.
You can get them at our facility in,
Okay.
At the Cornell Tech Farm.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. Oh, I was just kidding. Let's try that again. All right. And there it goes. Okay. Much better. Thank you guys all for joining us. And thank you so much, George, for joining us again today.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Truly a pleasure.
We were really, really happy to have you in here. See you guys next week.
Yep.
6 to 7.